Well, welcome to OC16 in Action. I'm your host, Banu.
Your host, Boris. Welcome.
It's great to have you with us today. And we want to take a look at an organization chart from a big company and see how OC16 structure applies. So Boris kindly looked up Nike for us and he made us some charts. And we are going to bring the theory together with real life so we can see how OC16s exist in real life. So with that, Boris, I'll just give it to you to tell us just a bit about Nike.
Thank you, Banu. And hey, everyone. Yeah, the idea was that we want to show you that there is a lot of information out there. And there is, for example, the org as a platform, as theorg.com, where you could find org charts from companies. And we have taken Nike as an example because I think all of us know who Nike is as a company. Just do it. And yeah, it has quote a simple org chart. And it's a matrix organization. So you have functional drivers inside, plus regional and products and so on. And you would see a lot of information on it, like the org chart, like the president and CEO, Elliot Hill, and then direct reports of him, who would be quote, then the chief operating officer and so on, that we would need for building the OC16. And you see as well the board and the advisors and some leadership teams and engineering technology. We come to that in a second. What you can look at as well is at the investor relations bits and pieces of the companies, like Nike, the corporate governance structure, the executive sections. You would find a lot of information on the executives, what they do, what's their process, where do they come from, and so on the investor relations websites of the companies. And you would see as well, like things like corporate controller and corporate governance and so on, which are bits and pieces of the streams that you have in an OC16. So this is where you could find the information, just in a nutshell. And yeah, this is what Banu and I want to share with you, where to find it, where to look at it, like theorg.com.
Yeah.
And you can search for example, Nike. And now I think we can show the
Yeah, so I
what it
think we
looks
say
like.
a lot like the way to learn anything around BG5 human design is to start applying it. And if we want to start applying large group dynamics and understand how the WA works and how the OC16 works, the best way is to look at real life examples and see how it actually works in real life. So that's why we wanted to show you some real life examples. And Boris kindly mapped the Nike structure to our OC16 general management channel structures, which we are going to share with you right here. Yeah.
So yeah, look, what you would see here is the Nike org chart that we have seen on the org.com. Here again, the org.com org Nike. And then this is the structure we typically look at from an OC16 perspective, where we have the
The 6 organizing channels, the
organizing
management,
channels, exactly.
competition, and everything else, the 6 organizing channels that we have been touching upon since we started OC16 in action.
Exactly. And then when you go to the next slide, this is actually the 6 channels, like the management, competitiveness, direction, logic, interaction, and innovation. And you will see them like where they are in the chart. And just by looking at the org, reading the information on the investor relations part of Nike, it's my way, and I discussed even with Banu before, and we possibly have different opinions, but this is my way of quote showing where the people would land. So definitely the CEO is the 45. This is what we say. It's the figurehead. It's the one that talks we and so on. Then we have Greg Williams, who is the president, Geography is Marketplace. This is the one quote.
Everything happens. The real
where everything
execution.
happens. You sell the products, you manufacture the products, you make sure that this happens. And this is Greg Williams that does it. Now, There is no notion of 25-51 as quote quote the competitiveness we dare. It's for us, and we discussed it in the slogan of Nike, just do it. This is where the daring piece is in. So I think reflecting as well back on Nike itself as an organization, just do it, dare it, be bold, be visionary, innovate, and drive new things. And this is for me what Nike represents.
Yeah. And so there isn't specifically one person that's a chief competition officer or anything in the org chart, but it doesn't mean, of course, it doesn't exist. It highly exists because it's a company that survived through long years fighting through competition and staying ahead of the competition through all its innovations and putting lots of power into how we do sports as well. So it's inherent in the company, really, although at the first glance at the org chart, we didn't see anybody that specifically took care of that. It's personified in a role.
What you have then is the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, typically the person, Matthew Friend, who looks after, is Nike making profit?
The keeper of the keys and the one who tracks.
Exactly. And funny enough, when you read a little bit, the whole thing about 214 is as well this direction. It's the planning, it's the finance. Where do we spend the money? Is it worth spending the money here? Where does it go? Where does it move? So it is knowing where the company is moving towards. And my understanding when I read the org.com, there is a leadership team. And this leadership team actually composed of 5 people. And what is 5? It's a Penta. And so it's a Penta construct that apparently thinks about how to move the direction of the company forward.
Yeah. And where to put the resources into, of course.
Yes. So it's quite an interesting field. Just reading and putting it for ourselves into a structure of the OC16. Where would we see it? And it's possibly a starting point when you start analyzing companies.
Yep.
At where does what sit that forms up the OC16? The next one is Treasure Heinle, who is the chief employee head, chief human resources officer, which is for me typically the stream of 659, the interaction, the making people feel comfortable and how to interact with people, and that is the internal piece of it. Then a big part is, I think, Nike is known for its innovation. And Nike, that's what Banu mentioned before, wouldn't be there anymore if there wouldn't be innovation. And think about all these new running shoes that are so innovative that were, quote, quote, they were even supposed to be banned from like the marathon runners because it gives additional propulsion, less energy usage for the runners. So they could run faster for longer. So innovative. And that is Thomas Clark. It's even called President Innovation. And funny enough, when you read a little bit further, there is an innovation and engineering team behind, which is 45 people, with 3 OC16s that work with this Thomas Clark to build and engineer new product permanently. And that's one key thing. As a company, you need to be innovative. You need to move forward. Whenever you say, it feels good, it's time to change because feeling good is not a state where you want to be.
And we say OC16s are naturally striving. So there's always that drive, and the drive is unidirectional, and it comes from this innovation that kind of pushes energy to continue to do more. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
And the last piece, and that is what I found interesting, there is no something like chief enforcement officer or chief whatever officer. So to reflecting this logical enforcement piece. But when you read who is like publishing the investor relations information, that's corporate governance. It's Mimi Hunter. So the secretary for the corporate governance, like doing all this public relation bits and pieces, and there is a corporate controller, And these corporate controllers typically report, to what I have seen in the past, to CFOs, chief financial officers. They make sure that the rules and are there, the processes are there, that the controls are there, that they are adhered to. And they quote as well report to the audit board, the audit committee of the company. All is fine, all is okay, it's all in shape and things like that. That is enforcing the processes. And that is what we see here. But there is no thing called like chief logical enforcement officer or head or something like that.
I think a lot of the components that we see in OC16 channels, they are embodied in different roles within an organization, and everybody takes bits and pieces of it. Just like you were giving the example from the logic side, how finance/internal controls and audit boards kind of take that. Like if we look at the interaction side, although we could say it's the human resources area, the interaction and everything, it still is embodied, like even the people managers within the company embody it. Even if you're a people manager in the finance org, or you're in the sales org, you're in the marketing org. So all the people managers embody the interaction somehow. So it's not like this one thing equals one other role type of thing, but these are very complex structures, and they have grid structures as well. And because it's within the WA, everybody takes certain bits and pieces of it, and it becomes live.
Yeah.
So it's like it's more than even a grid, I could say, this multi-dimensional thing that exists.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Well, thank you, Boris, so much for preparing this. So this
Thank
is
you.
just a way of looking at a chart and seeing how it's actually coming live, the OC16 components that we find.
Yeah.
All right.
Good. Easy. I mean, you can all start looking at it yourselves. The org.com, you pick a company and you start playing around and see where like the OC16 information fits in.
Yeah, beautiful. And we will do more with Boris. So that's the promise. So we're
Yeah.
looking forward to the next episodes. Thank you.
Yes. And as said, this was an easy one. They are more complex ones. So thanks a lot and bye, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.